What's up, you guys? Todd Falcone here. So FDA approval, right, is your product FDA approved? If you're involved in network marketing, and you represent a product, nutritional or cosmetic or skincare or something like that, a physical product that somebody uses or ingests, then you probably have gotten the question from some of your prospects, is your product FDA approved, right? If you haven't gotten it, there's a good chance that you probably will. Now, the reason I'm doing this post is because I know a lot of people get that question, and it's like, well, what do you do with the question? I don't know, should we be FDA approved, or are we FDA approved? And what does it mean to be FDA approved? And what if we're not FDA approved? Oh my gosh, what does that mean? And I get it. So that's why I'm doing this post. And it's kind of interesting because, and I'm not going to get really political in this particular post, but first of all, I'm just going to say this, and this is not an FDA bashing video. I don't know. I mean, me bashing the FDA would probably not work out so well for me because they're a gigantic agency, and anytime you get into a battle with anybody who's got 3 letters, it's probably not such a good deal. So, but here's the thing. For you, just to give you some peace and rest at night when you get that question from a prospect, so you know what to do or how to deal with that. The Food and Drug Administration is designed, on their website, and you'll see it on my blog post, they're word for word what they call themselves. I mean, they're out there for, supposedly for the safety of our, the health of the public, right? And so, of course, we have people that ask us, well, gosh, is your product FDA approved? And they're concerned. They're, people they're your prospects that, honestly, in my opinion, and I don't really have a better word, are duped into thinking that, if your product is FDA approved, it must somehow be better or good for you. And the reality is, if you look at some of the things that the FDA has approved or allows, there are lots of ingredients like brominated vegetable oil, which is a terrible, terrible thing that's found in a lot of soft drinks. I just actually... Man, when I read this article, I was like appalled. Genetically engineered salmon. A biotech firm designed a genetically engineered salmon that they're now allowing for sale. That salmon's going to end up swimming up our rivers, spawning in our rivers, laying little genetically engineered salmon eggs. And I don't even want to think about that because I'm a fisherman. For years, they've allowed farm-raised salmon. Farm-raised salmon are pumped with chemicals so that they grow faster. There's the list of stuff that the FDA allows and approves. I mean, the FDA does not approve cigarettes and tobacco, but they certainly allow it and allow it to be sold. So to think that agency is designed to be on the lookout for us, I'm sure I'm going to get some differing opinions. Some people are, I think the FDA is great, and that's fine. They happen to be a big, gigantic, monster governmental agency, and they're not going to go anywhere. So how do we deal with that as network marketers? They deal with, especially with nutritional supplementation, food supplements, you have to deal with like the labeling and what your label says, and you have to be very careful as well if you're marketing those types of products to not make claims. And you better understand that, by the way, if you're in a product-based company, understand what a claim is and what a claim isn't, because you can't be making claims. Just understand the agency is never going to go away. And again, I'm really talking here in the U.S. If you're watching this video, the FDA is a U.S. governmental agency, and that situation is just never going to change. So we have to be careful on what we say, because as soon as you begin to make specific claims about your product, then you're going to be classified technically as a drug, and then you do have to be FDA approved. So the FDA does not necessarily approve food supplements, right? But I mean, what if they did, or what if they do? What if there are aspects of your product that may be approved by the FDA? And I'm not saying if a network marketing company has products that are FDA approved, that's bad either. The reality is they ain't going away. But how do you deal with is your product FDA approved? My kind of response, I think, would be if somebody comes to me and I was marketing to them and they say, oh gosh, is your product FDA approved? My response would probably be, gosh, I certainly hope not. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of what the FDA actually does approve, but they approve all sorts of horrid ingredients that are actually very, very bad for you. So and this way, being all worried about how somebody, how you're supposed to respond to someone when they ask that question, will go away after just understanding or watching this video and realizing that the reality is this particular agency is not necessarily out for your personal better health. And if you look at the massive list of ingredients, you can go Google to your heart's content what they do allow or what they do approve. It's absolutely pretty frightening. So I don't know. I think the questions are going to continue to happen when you have an agency that's that big. You have the public, many of them not very educated and don't understand, and so they're thinking, oh gosh, the big FDA, they're looking out for me. They're looking out for my best interests, and gosh, I better follow everything that they say. When in all reality, when you see the list of things that they do approve, it's kind of ridiculous. So I don't know. I'd love to hear from you on this. I mean, it's a pretty hot little subject. We get into a lot of politics, and I try to avoid talking politics, but this is kind of a political subject, not Republican, Democrat necessarily, but definitely a big deal. And then we get in the whole conversation of GMO and genetically modified organisms. So that I won't even get going there on this video. But you know, you're a network marketer watching this video. You're getting the question, is your product FDA approved? I don't really think you have anything to worry about. If you don't want to get too deep in with the person, and you want to just give yourself kind of an easy response, I'd say, gosh, you know, we're not, and I'm glad we aren't, because I don't know if you're aware, but the FDA approves an awful lot of things that are not very good for you. So if your product, for any reason, or ingredients of your product are FDA approved, well, you probably won't get that question, or you could say yes to that, I guess. I don't know. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this very interesting subject that affects everybody involved in the food supplement business, and certainly involved in network marketing if you're marketing a consumable product. So, all right. So I don't know where you're watching this video. Maybe YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, maybe toddfalcone.com, TODDFALCONE.com. Put your comments below. Love to hear from you. And you guys have a great day. We'll see you.